Hello everyone, welcome to the Egmary Tribe channel. My name is Blessing Atonda, and here we learn about building businesses with global relevance. We learn about building businesses that can even live beyond us, that can continue operating with or without our presence. And today our topic is very interesting, is legacy beyond ownership. Strategies for building a business that is sustainable with or without your presence. For building a business that can outlive you. And when we talk about legacy beyond ownership, it is not just about having 100% of a business. It is not about you being everywhere in a business. It doesn't focus on being a micromanager. When you want to build a business that can live, that can produce profits, that can produce results, whether you are there or whether you are not, you need to think beyond the box of ownership. When we talk about ownership, it doesn't mean that there's somebody coming to steal the affairs of your business. It doesn't mean that there's somebody coming to hijack your business. It just means that you allow your business to go on autopilot. I mean, you built your business successfully to the stage where your business can run on its own, whether you are there, whether you're not there. Everybody knows what to do. And one key thing to building such a business is having systems and structures. And in this video, we're going to be, talking about systems and structures, the needs, what people view about systems, about structures, how you can utilize these two things importantly to build that brand that can last, to build that brand with global relevance, to build that brand that you have envisioned to actually run. And it is very important that to understand that when you're building a business, like when you're building a brand, it is beyond building a business for immediate profit. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you should not pursue profits. Of course, what's the essence of a business without profits? I mean, the sole purpose of a business is to make profits, right? But it is not just about the profits that you can get now. Like, okay, I sell a product for 10,000 naira, which I bought for 5,000 naira. So that 5,000 naira profit, I get it now and I am happy, and then I have spent it. It is not just about that, it's about the long term gain. Building a brand for global relevance, a brand that if things are going on in the economy, the government, the people in the seat of power can see you as someone that they can call on a round table to discuss the affairs of the economy. Building a brand that can actually affect the economy positively. And when you're talking about the economy, it's not just about oil sector. I mean, the non-oil producing sector is actually the largest contributor to Nigeria's economy. So whether you are in the manufacturing business, you are in the trade business, or you are in the fashion business, the service business, you can build a brand, you can build your business, your company to the stage where the government can even can seek your opinions on matters that drive economic growth. So when you hear notable names like Dangote, I read somewhere that I think some 2 3 years ago, Dangote Group contributes to about 10% of Nigeria's GDP. Just Dangote, like, is a force to reckon with. And before we talk about that result that is currently producing, we're talking about how the things that he has put in place years ago that are still producing such profits for such results for him. You cannot just start a brand today and then you want it to you just want it to blossom. Of course it will, but things take time. Now, what you do with that time is actually what will breed that result. You Two businesses can be in existence for about 10 years, but what they do in that space of 10 years is what determines what the business will bring forth in the next 10 years. So, systems versus structures. What is a system? What is a structure? When people hear about structuring, when they hear about systems and structure, they feel threatened at the fact that somebody else is taking decisions for them. But then the first question is you should ask is, should you take all the decisions for your business? There are some things that you don't know, and what you don't know, you cannot force it, you just do not know it. So it is important to let people, experts in the field. For example, when it comes to branding, marketing, it is not my spec. I cannot say, oh, I want to drive my marketing growth today. I can learn about it, right? I can learn about it fine, but there are people that have been in that field for years. They are experts there. What you are doing is buying their time, like paying for their time for them to deliver such results to you. And whenever if you are trying to learn this thing, it will take you time. You would make mistakes. You will start all over. You would make a lot of mistakes in between. But these people, you are not paying them to make mistakes. You are paying them for the expertise that they bring to the table. So when it comes to building systems and structures, you should not feel threatened or afraid at the thought of letting people control some affairs that are not your forte. What the least you can just do is set structures in place, set policies around everyone's operation to ensure that no one goes out of proportion. For example, a marketing expert that doesn't have a business with your finance department. A customer sales attendant does not have any business with your finance, with collecting cash. So that is why it is important to set structures and systems in place. Now, systems versus structures. When we hear systems and structures, maybe you feel like they're the same thing. They are not. But one cannot do without the other. A system cannot stand without structure. For example, and then what are structures? Structure is like a set of laws, right? Like principles, guidelines, and internally generated content for a particular organization. Let's make it practical. So let's say a customer walks into your store, right? A customer wants to pay. After the sales attendant has attended to the person, wants to pay, there is a structure, there is a policy that only the cashier receives and confirms payments. From there, they pass it to the accountant. That is a structure for receiving payments, receiving and confirming payments. The cashier does the receiving of cash, or whether it's transfer, confirming, pushes to the accountant for further documentation, accounting softwares. Now, that is a system of structures that would make up your accounting system. So when we're talking about your accounting system, we are saying somebody receives cash, somebody documents, somebody approves, somebody cross-checks, somebody monitors and evaluates. That is a system. Just like in your body, your respiratory system works in such a way that you use your nose to breathe. It takes it to whatever system it takes it to an organ in your body to process, and then another organ processes, and then it makes you as a human being. When it comes to systems and structures, it is set in a way that when something is, you have backup plans. That's what I'm trying to get at. You have backup plans. If your cashier is not available, you have maybe a junior cashier or a junior accountant that can take that place for a temporary period. Now, that temporary period, you use that to make sure that either the person that was not around gets back to work, or there's a replacement procedure. So it is important to understand how each system in your organization works. You have the accounting department, you have the customer representative department, you have the marketing department, you have the IT department. All of these things, the combination of structures are what make up a system. In your digestive system, you have the teeth, you have the saliva, you have the lungs, you have the small intestine, everybody knows their duty. You cannot, except under some medical conditions, you cannot bypass the mouth and expect digestion to go on, except there are some medical conditions. That is why I'm saying that in a case where a particular organ, a particular person a particular entity in a structure is not available, there are backup plans. If my nostrils are blocked and I cannot breathe, I will open my mouth, right? But I cannot open my mouth for long because that is not the original design of it. So if an accountant is performing cashier function, that is not where that person is meant to be. It is meant to be temporary. So while that temporary procedure is going on, you are seeking for replacement, and that is how structure works. So it is important to know that when it comes to structuring, the least you can do is put structures and policies in place. There is no reason why a marketing staff should be working on your accounting software. There is no reason why your accountant should be on the field marketing your products. So all these things, what these things does is that it undermines the personnel in such departments. For example, if you are telling the accountant to go to the field to market, firstly, what is the position is meant to manage, the person will not manage it well. That's number one. Number two is that there would be no zeal because he's not performing in the capacity at which he or she was employed to perform. So there is ensuring that there is a structure and policy that ensures that operations go on smoothly. Everybody knows what they are meant to do. Now, the tricky part about setting structures and everybody knowing what they are meant to do is that it encourages staff to work in isolation. For example, if the cashier is not around, the accountant will say, that's not my job, I'm not doing. It is your duty as the visionary to enhance teamwork. It is your duty as the visionary, or you delegate it to somebody that would make sure that teamwork is priority. Now, all of these things depend on how you have, on what you envision, how you envision your business to run. So moving on, we're going to be talking very briefly about, about system. We've just spoken about structure, and then I remember mentioning that a system is more than just one structure. What makes up your employees, your employee management generally, is that there are different people in different positions. Now, if an organ, if one person is not functioning well, it would mostly affect the others. That is why when you are fixing people, we're going to talk about how to actually set systems and structures. I'm just trying to make you understand that systems and structures are not the same thing, but one cannot work without the other. First, you work with structures. You set individual structures in place depending on how your business runs. Firstly, you make sure that each department, you start from each department, from the accounts department, from the customer service department. If any customer has a complaint, they go through, is it your WhatsApp channel? Is it your Telegram channel? Is it your Instagram page? There is somebody on those channels to attend to the customer. Then they take it to a superior. You see, one thing that affects most businesses is that it is one person that is handling the A to Z of your sales process. What this encourages is, it encourages malfunctioning, and it encourages mediocrity, basically, because you cannot expect somebody that is attending to customers. Mind you, there are times that there will be traffic. Now, this person is attending to customers. At the very same time, this person is trying to document the money received. At the same time, this person is trying to confirm the payment. At the same time, this person is trying to ensure that the customer gets what he or she bought for. You cannot allow one person to handle all your sales process. You break them up. Now, I understand if your business is not at that stage yet, but if your business is not at that stage yet, the best thing to do is to invest in your business. Most people, they reap the fruits of a business that is not even ripe enough. Am I saying you should not get profits? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you should understand your business and make sure that the profit you're taking from that business is not harming the business. If your profit margin is 20%, as a beginner, you should not be taking the whole 20%. You don't have a website, you have not gotten proper structuring right, and you're taking the whole 20%. So if you are paying yourself 10% out of that, you do that. If you're paying yourself 15%, if you're paying yourself 5%, just make sure that you are investing back into the business. Because it's when you invest, I feel like the purpose of business, right, is for passive income. When you're building a business, you have it in mind that this business is still coming back to serve me. So you do the things that would make sure that this business serves you. You're building a brand, and in your first 3 months of operation, your sales are steady, right? You have structures with expenses. Now, don't get me wrong, when it comes to structuring, it's not just about employee management. Even you yourself as a business owner, you need to structure your operations in the business. For example, what is your structure on expenses? The struggle with most business owners is that they find it difficult to track the expenses. That if you are finding it difficult to do that, then my major suggestion is always that you make all your expenses via transfer. Now, if you're making your expenses via transfer, you add narrations to them. That way, even if you cannot remember every day to go and reconcile your account, at least you can download a bank statement that would show you the narrations, and then you can then say, okay, I spent this amount on marketing, I spent this amount on myself. So you don't just withdraw or transfer money away from your business account without narrations. Because if you want to build a brand that outlives you, you have to first be accountable to yourself. Before you can even get to the stage where you are having employees, you are delegating, and you want to build a business that can even run without your presence, you have to be accountable first to yourself. If you cannot have that responsibility, if you cannot be responsible enough to hold yourself accountable for your actions on finances, on customer service, on delivery. You say it's a particular product takes 7 working days, and 21 working days the customer has not gotten the product. Who are you deceiving? If you have not successfully managed 100 orders in a month, why are you praying for 500 orders in a month? You source those ones first. You source them first. So while building a successful brand, documentation is key. If it's very hectic for you to do on your own, you outsource, you delegate. Even if the pay is going to be per commission in a way that will not harm your business. The funny thing is that if you want to get to a stage where you can pay people conveniently, you have to first understand your business. Most people do not even know the kind of business they run. Some of you are undercharging for the services that you offer, yet you are complaining that the business is not growing. And there are a lot of factors to consider while doing that. Moving on, we would be talking about handling breakdowns in structure. It is normal to have organs. For example, there might be cold, and then my nostrils are blocked. I can't really breathe. So I resort to opening my mouth a little so that at least air can pass. Or there might be times where, when someone has a critical medical condition and the person cannot eat, so they pass nutrients like that through the blood and all of that. So it is normal for an organ, for a particular personnel in a structure to break down. What you just do, what matters is what you do with that breakdown time. Firstly, viewers' discretion is advised, because I understand that not every business is at that level. But if you want to build a business that won't get to that level, you need to have this thing at the back of your hand. Here's what I mean. If you have one person, like I said earlier, you cannot have one person at the helm of all the affairs. If that person runs away, what would you do? Then you complain that staffs are ungrateful human beings. Even if they are, you have to put structures in place that make sure that you are not too affected. One person for each department. And they all know their functions. Like I said, isolation of functions can breed people, running away from duties that are not their own. But it is your duty as a visionary to actually bridge the gap, encourage teamwork, constantly encouraging them, talking to them. That is your business as a visionary leader. Now, when we were trying to deal with how to build, a profitable business, a business that can grow even when you're there or you're not there, it is important to also have it at the back of your mind that you cannot do everything. The reason why that business is at that level of growth that you are currently stuck in is because you are the only one doing everything. You are the manager, you are the cashier, you are the accountant, you are the sales rep, you are the what else? You are the IT person in charge of websites. What did you study in school? Mass comm. And you expect these things to actually grow. You would remain at that level of growth. But you see, the moment where you think beyond that level that you are and you invest in such experts, one thing experts do is that they boost your growth. If I get a marketing expert for my business now, best believe I will double my marketing figures ×2 in 2 months. Why? Because they are coming with their own expertise. That's what they bring to the table. You are not training anybody from the scratch. Now, I understand that it is possible to start with employees that are willing to learn. Now, you can only give what you have. You cannot give what you don't have. If I don't know about marketing, I cannot employ a marketing staff and start training the person on marketing. So that's why it is very good to make sure that you outsource these things to experts on their own. If you are not good with accounting, you now go and employ somebody with SSC, a commercial student, hoping that you will be training the person on the accounting functions. It doesn't work that way. What do you know about profit and loss account that you want to train somebody to be an accountant for you? So that's why it's very important to think beyond your current state and invest in these functions. So we'll be talking about how to build structure in your organization. And the first thing is knowing your vision for the business. For instance, you want to build a brand like Dangote Cement. Now, Dangote does not have to be at work every day for them to deliver cement to 36 states in Nigeria. It doesn't have to be on seat. He has people at the helm of affairs. So if you know that this is what you want for your business, this is how you want your business to run, you want people to shop via a website that redirects them to a page, and then from there they check out, and then you link them to a delivery company, and then they get the delivery done seamlessly. Like you have to imagine what you want for your business. Imagine how you want it to run. Okay, I want to have branches in all the states in Nigeria. Where do you start from? How will your operation run? Is it one person that will be in charge of everything, or would you have people in place? Or is it that you don't want a walk-in store? People can just order from the comfort of their homes and then they get it delivered within 24 hours? Or your production process takes 7 days? You just have to envision what you want for the business exactly. Sit down and, okay, this is how I want my business to run. When you will have that, then you now consider the past. If, for instance, now, I used to attend to a client 3 working days in a week, and it stresses me out. Now, I know that if I want 5 more clients, I cannot have 5 more clients with that structure that I have. I mean, if I'm attending to just 1 client for 3 days, how many days will it take me to attend to 5 clients? Is that what I want? So you look at the past. Okay, I handled 100 orders last month. Where were the feedbacks? People really complained about delivery. Or who were complaining about the website, that the website was really hanging. Or my WhatsApp was even crashing. For those of you that run WhatsApp stores, my WhatsApp was even crashing. You think about the past. So now what the past does is it informs you of what you can do better. For example, if you have this problem of your WhatsApp crashing, invest in a website. In fact, there are even free tools that can allow you to upload your products online. So what you do is you post that link on your WhatsApp page. That way, people don't have to keep coming to your WhatsApp, bombarding you with orders. They go to the website instead. Now, the website, when they check out, it gives you the details of the products that they have bought. It sends those things to your mail most times. From there, you handle delivery. You outsource the delivery to a logistics company. Not that you really want to now carry the product, flying bike and trying to deliver to your customer, or you are the one battling with logistics company. You have considered the past. That's why you can say, okay, this time around I want to work with a renowned logistics brand. I want to work with, okay, somebody that is very close to me that I can always call. If I call this person within 10 minutes, he will answer me. If that's what you want, the past has informed you of such a decision. Secondly, the third thing, you fill in the people, you don't bring the people first. Now, the mistake most of business owners make is that you employ staff. You now start looking at which staff fits into this position. Whereas what you are meant to do is, when you have envisioned what you want to do, you have an image of how you want your business to run. So because of that, okay, if I want somebody that is very good in attending to customers, then I'm looking for somebody with customer relations certificate. If I need my accounting to be top notch, I want details of all my orders, all my sales, my expenses at a glance. I need somebody that is versatile with accounting softwares. I will not employ somebody first and I'll be looking for what that does. It wears you out. Because to be very honest, some people just cannot, they are not wired for growth or learning. So, but when you know what you want, you look out for those traits and characteristics in an employee during interview, not the other way around. Not that you have employed the person first, then some of you now be feeling bad. You don't want this person to go. You now start managing the person at the expense of your business growth. Next is balancing authority and responsibility. This is where most people get it wrong. When I have clarity sessions with my clients, and then they are saying this person, they are not seeing this manager as the manager, they are disrespecting the person, and I'm like, what have you done to salvage that situation? It is important for you to balance authority and responsibility. A finance person should not be on the field. The head of accounting department does not have a say over the marketing department. You have to make sure that everybody's responsibility is spelled out, and then there is somebody with the authority that is not you. Most likely, if you want a business that can actually, like, if you want to build a business that does not need your presence, a business that does not need your presence to go through the day-to-day activities, you need somebody that is actually not you. It is normal for you to start the process, but it is not okay for you to be stuck in the process. You get people that can stand in the gap for you and take authority when you are not there. Because they are, like, now, if you have, let's say a customer is complaining about a particular item, you have refund policies, you have return policies. Any item that has left your store in good condition, the customer saw it before it leaving, you cannot return such a product saying it does not size you. You wear it before leaving here, right? Now you have all these things documented. It is only normal for your manager or the person in the helm of affairs to go back to such a manual and give authoritative decisions, whether you are there or not, because you have trained the person in that capacity, and at the same time you have also made it clear in a written format. The next thing is to embrace teamwork. Like I've said before, you cannot, it is like I've noticed it in almost everywhere that I have been to. Once there is you say, okay, Lagbaja, this is your own duty, B, this is your own duty, you, this is your own duty. When A is not around, B will say, no, this is what I was employed to do. But it is now your own, it is left to you as a visionary, as the head, to now say, okay, let us embrace teamwork. This person not being around is for a temporary purpose. The person will be back in a few days. And if not, we are working on a replacement process. So even that replacement process needs some policies in place. So you have recruitment agents at your beck and call to make sure that lapse is not there for a long time. People that recruiting agents that can get you employees that you can interview, and then you make sure that there's an onboarding process. Here is where a lot of employers get it wrong. You employ people without properly onboarding them. They don't even know what they are meant to do. Like their first week of them resuming work, they don't know what exactly they are meant to do. Maybe they are meant to attend to. Just say, okay, just start. They don't just start. There has to be policies in place. Okay, when this person resumes, so department trains this person in the capacity at which he or she is to work. So when one person is managing one or two functions, the zeal with that person will be watered down, and it will not be so efficient as it should have been if he was working solely in his capacity. So an onboarding process that ensures that the do's and don'ts of the company is communicated, what they are meant to do, they know what to do. There are policies in place, leave policies, absenteeism, if you are going to be absent, if you are going to for lunch hours, everything. Like they just know what to do. They are not confused. When somebody understands fully what is meant to do, the service delivery will be different. People struggle with service delivery because they are not even sure of what exactly they are meant to do. You're in an organization and you're like, you don't even know how many days of leave they are giving you. You don't even know if they take permission without they take permission for not coming to work. Who do they take those permissions from? All of these things should be spelled out in your manual, on the onboarding process. Everybody knows how the business is being run. If a new staff is finding it hard to blend into your system in 1 month, then there's something wrong. Most times, at a glance, like at 1 or 2 reads of your operations manual or your company manual, everybody should have proper understanding of what to do. And it is not just confined to their job descriptions. And everybody knows that if this person is not around, this is what this person does. For example, now, nobody's an island of knowledge. The purpose of teamwork is to make up for people in situations where they are lacking. Somebody might be going through, personal problems, and as much as they should not bring that to work, it is at times it's inevitable. But it only breeds more teamwork and bond when people can stand in for each other, when people can make up for each other when somebody is in a particular downtime. So you notice that the front desk officer is meant to cross-check some things going out and coming into the store, but the person is carried away. You don't just shout at the person in presence of the customer that, why are you carried away? You make up for that person at that instant. Then back end, you guys can now scold yourselves. Scolding yourselves in the presence of customers, public, and all of that thing can make your employee resent you as an employer. You don't do that. The last thing on my list is performance evaluation. As much as you say systems and structures can help you, build a successful brand, you should also know that it is not meant to be static. Everything is evolving. You cannot say your structure for accounting is manual and you want to stick with that manual. No, everything is changing. You have to evolve. Use softwares. Leverage on technology. Use a website. Don't just be limited to working customers alone. The world is your playground. Use it, utilize it. Anybody from any part of the world can buy your products, can get your services. You just need to leverage on technology, leverage on expert advice, leverage on courses, be willing to grow. That is why it's important to perform evaluation procedures. At the end of a year, okay, if we say that we don't want to be accepting cash payments, at the end of that year, as our sales reduce because of this policy, at the end of the year, did we notice more sales because people are more comfortable to use their POS or to transfer via or to make transfers? Is that building sales? Like, is it helping your sales grow? Have you noticed that website sales are more than WhatsApp or Instagram sales? Have you noticed that some particular kind of content do well on your page? Those are the things that you look at when you're doing performance evaluation. Evaluate your employees, evaluate your structures, evaluate yourself as well. Where are you? Is this where you're meant to be? What else is there to do? So this will bring me to my conclusion. When you're running, if you want to, emphasis on if you want to, because I've noticed that most business owners are just, in business for the immediate profits, so they won't just be idle. But you see, if you're running your business like you want to be a major contributor to the economy, you want to build global relevance, you cannot just take some things lightly. You make sure that every step you take, every action you take concerning your business is intentional. It's better for you not to start at all than for you to start and not remain there, because people would meet you there, leave you there, and even forget you there. So that would bring us to the end of our session today. Make sure that you like, you share, and then you subscribe to this channel. Consistently, we're going to be having sessions on building global brands, building brands that can run with or without your presence. And for this, our April series, our topic is legacy beyond ownership. Today, we have dealt with systems that are structures. Next week, Friday, we're going to be talking about the art of delegation. The last Friday of this month, we'll be talking about leadership versus training. There is none of this topic that works in isolation. They all go hand in hand. You cannot build a brand that work without you being physically present, and you are scared to delegate. You cannot build a business with 1,000 employees and you don't know how to be a good leader, and you don't know how to properly train your staff or put some of these structures in place. So stay tuned, and we'll be back next week Friday. Every 5 p.m. our video is going to be dropping. So like, share, and subscribe. You can also turn on post notifications so as not to miss out on any of our videos. I am Blessing Atonda, and thank you for watching.